JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, Linstead double murder victims identified. Police have identified the two persons killed in a double murder in Commodore District in Linstead, St. Catherine on Thursday morning. They are Leon English, otherwise called Furry, a 41-year-old Igler from Commodore, and his girlfriend Salika Salki, 23, from Orangefield District, also in Linstead. A 33-year-old taxi driver was injured in the incident. Police reported that around 1:45 a.m., English reportedly chartered the taxi to take him home, where he met Salki upon arrival. They were reportedly ambushed by armed men who opened gunfire at them and hit English in his face and upper body. Salki was shot in her left arm and upper body. The injured cabby managed to escape. Police who went to the scene found the couple's bullet-riddled bodies. Salki was seen lying on her face. They were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. No motive has yet been established for the killing. DPP wants pre-parole period of life sentence or murder moved to 40 years. Director of Public Prosecutions, Paula Llewellyn, says the starting point for the term of life imprisonment for the sentence of murder should be increased from 30 to 40 years before eligibility for parole. Llewellyn says she'll be making a recommendation to Justice Minister Delroy Chuck that the Criminal Justice Administration Act be amended. She says this was largely influenced by Tuesday's decision by the Court of Appeal to reduce to 20 years the 31-year prison term that convicted killer Kwesi Hart was ordered to serve before being eligible for parole. Hart is serving a life sentence for the stabbing death of 14-year-old Jamaica College student Nicholas Francis during an altercation on a bus on October 26, 2016. Acting Court of Appeal President Justice Marva McDonald Bishop said the trial judge, during sentencing, had failed to apply the right methodology and had also applied the wrong starting point for the offense. But the DPP says, given the state of murder in Jamaica, the starting point for the term of life imprisonment should be increased to 40 years as opposed to 30. Llewellyn also responded to the concern that increasing the starting point may result in defendants opting not to plead guilty. We're not saying that in the majority of circumstances that pleading guilty to murder, life imprisonment, and eligibility for parole not before 25 years, which is the average 24, 23, 26, may not be appropriate. But there's the odd case where the circumstances so shock the public, it is so traumatizing what was done, she explained. Section 42F of the Criminal Justice Administration Act 2015 speaks of the reduction of sentencing for life imprisonment where a defendant pleads guilty. In the meantime, the DPP said the Court of Appeal unit in her office will be seeking to explain the process of appeal of sentences to the families of victims in matters of public interest. Llewellyn said she led a team Wednesday that met with the family members of Nicholas Francis, who complained that no one from her office had notified them about Hart's appeal. She said she'll be rectifying this issue so it doesn't reoccur in future cases. We're going to check the original file to see if we have contact information for relatives of the deceased and put that on our Court of Appeal transcript so that Crown Counsel deals with the matter. If there's a reduction, then we'll be able to easily contact them or contact the investigating officer to let them know, she said. 2 guns seized in the corporate area, 4 arrested. 4 men are now in police custody following the siege of 2 guns and ammunition in separate incidents in the corporate area. In one of the incidents, a Smith & Wesson revolver with 5 rounds of ammunition was seized along Holborn Road, New Kingston in St. Andrew on Tuesday. 3 men were arrested in connection with the seizure. The New Kingston police say about 11:45 p.m., 3 men were accosted along the main road and searched, and the firearm was found. The men were subsequently arrested. Meanwhile, a man was arrested in connection with the seizure of an illegal gun and several rounds of ammunition at the intersection of Bread Lane and Charles Street in downtown Kingston on Tuesday. The Denham Town police say about 9:10 p.m., lawmen were on patrol when a man was seen who arose their suspicion. He was accosted, searched, and a Taurus pistol and the 6 rounds of ammunition were seized. He was taken into custody. Pistol found inside cushion in Faith's pen. A team of officers conducting operations in Faith's pen, Monique St. Anne, seized the pistol with a magazine containing 4 rounds of ammunition on Wednesday. The police say no arrest was made in connection with the find. The Monique police report that about 6:30 p.m., the team was conducting operations in search of illegal guns and wanted men. An abandoned house was searched and the gun and ammunition were found inside a cushion. Pastor dies while performing baptism. Members of a congregation have been left with several questions after a pastor died while carrying out a baptismal exercise at the church. The deceased has been identified as Pastor Wilfred Willis, 65, of Jupen District, St. Catherine. The incident occurred at the Oneness Apostolic Assembly of Jesus Christ on Sunday. Reports said that Willis was about to baptize a teenager who was visiting the church in a pool at the church when he collapsed in the water and was taken to the Linstead hospital. He was admitted but later died. Many said that Willis was a good person and his death hurts deeply. Speculations have since been swirling about the incident. One such speculation is that the pastor may have been electrocuted. Some people are saying that it appears the microphone he was using in the church pool during the baptism may have had electrical issues. However, the teen who was being baptized was also in the pool, but he's still alive and well. I don't know the full story, but it's a great shock to us if you understand me, a resident Marcus Dennis said. In all seriousness, this is a mystery which will find people questioning certain things. The Bogwood police are investigating. Green Acres Crime Concerns Mounters Police Station remains closed. President of the Green Acres Citizens Association, Vanessa Whiteborough, is calling for urgent and effective action from the police to address rising criminal activity in the community. She says opening of the Green Acres Police Station, which has remained closed because of flooding concerns, would help. The residents also want frequent police patrols through the community. We have residents who walk for exercise being attacked. Just a week ago, a woman was chopped by men who tried to rob her, Whiteborough said. The community has many old residents, some who live abroad. Thieves continue to break into the houses. This can only be addressed by proper mobilization of the police and the opening of the Green Acres Police Station, she added. The community, which is located in West Central St. Catherine, is affected by frequent break-ins and robberies. It is a sad but true story, as them break into my car the other day and thief out me things. I want to visit the station, it was locked, a resident, Malcolm Davies, said. The residents say they feel hopeless, as in November, the temporary Green Acres police post was also broken into. This daring criminal act has resulted in police personnel not being able to prepare meals, as the thieves cut electrical wires and stole a microwave and a stove from the container which houses the police post. Yes, the acts of criminality is real, as even the police station has also fallen victim. I have received a complaint that the thieves stole the microwave and other items. Member of Parliament for the area, Dr. Christopher Tufton said. Tufton said he'll be replacing the microwave and the stove. Meanwhile, he said further discussions will be held with the police high command to help address the transportation problem at the police post. The conditions will demotivate the police and also discourage the residents' cooperation. It must be addressed as we work to address the flooding issue at the 50-man station, which is to be commissioned, Tufton said. Tufton stated that he has also been informed the Green Acres Police Station is set to be opened early next year. Calls to head of the St. Catherine North Police Division, Senior Superintendent of Police Howard Chambers, went unanswered. Jamaicans with certain criminal records encouraged to apply for expungement. Jamaicans with criminal records or certain offences are being encouraged to apply for expungement through the Ministry of Justice. Senior policy analyst at the Justice Ministry, Shanique Graham, in a recent JIS Studio 58 session, said expungement aims to remove an offence from a person's criminal record. It aims to give persons a second chance, a clean slate to start over, to be able to apply for a job, migrate, and to have peace of mind, knowing they do not have a certain offence following them, she said. There are certain offences that the Criminal Records Rehabilitation of Offenders Act clearly specifies cannot be expunged at this time. Murder and offences in relation to distribution of child pornography, carnal abuse with a person under 16, and sex with a person under 16 are not expungible. There are also issues in relation to firearm possession and ammunition that are not expungible at this time. There's a long list in the legislation that we're governed by, Graham said. She pointed out that the persons must first be aware that they have a criminal record. Usually this happens when a person is applying for a job and they're asked to get a police record. When you get the police record and you realize an offense comes up, you may not have remembered that there was an offense because it happened 20 years ago, she said. Once an offense has been identified, persons can contact the Ministry of Justice. For details on how to get your records expunged, persons are being encouraged to visit moj.gov.jm. More SOEs likely before year-end, says PM. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says there could be another round of states of emergency, SOE, before the end of the year. Speaking Wednesday at a virtual meeting with the Jamaica umbrella group of churches, PM Holness said the high number of murders is a crisis that needs to be immediately addressed. He indicated that the government will continue to use the emergency powers to save lives, hinting at a new declaration of SOEs in short order to prevent the materialization of various extensive threats to life and property, which he says the security forces have identified. In sports news, Arborview held by Tivoli in JPL. Defending champions Arborview were held to a 1-1 draw by struggling Tivoli Gardens in their game played at Arnett Gardens in Wednesday's latest round of matches in the Jamaica Premier League, JPL. The draw snapped Arborview's 2-game winning run as they were joined at the top of the points table by the surging Mount Pleasant FA, who edged Waterhouse 1-0 at Droxall in St. Anne. The draw snapped Arborview's 2-game winning run as they were joined at the top of the points table by the surging Mount Pleasant FA, who edged Waterhouse 1-0 at Droxall in St. Anne. Both teams are on 14 points, 2 points ahead of Cavalier FC, who blanked Falkland FC 4-0 at Westport Park in St. James, while Arnett Gardens fell out of the top 4. Tommy Lawrence had given Tivoli Gardens the lead in the 31st minute, but Timar Lewis scored his league-leading 6th goal in time added on at the end of the first half, as Arborview escaped their first loss of the season. Trevonte Stewart's 73rd minute goal was enough for Mount Pleasant to extend their winning run to 3 straight games as they hedged Waterhouse, who were losing their 3rd game in their last 4 starts. Cavalier FC had their biggest win of the round, blanking the promoted Falkland FC 4-0 with goals from Dwayne Atkins in the 12th minute, Ronaldo Webster in the 32nd minute, Colin Anderson in the 72nd minute, and Orlando Lewis 4 minutes into stoppage time at the end of the second half. Umberline moved into the top 6, upsetting Arnett Gardens 1-0 with a goal from Andrew Vance in the 52nd minute, as the Clarendon-based club won back-to-back games for the first time this season. Chapelton Maroons moved out of the relegation zone, edging Mullines United 1-0 with a 78th minute goal from Jamari Howell. Montego Bay United were held 0-0 by Vere United at the Wembley Centre of Excellence, while Portmore United and Dumble Holden FC were also goalless in their game at Stadium East. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember, subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.